Hello, everyone. My name is Toni Blake, and I am so honored to come to you in this time of crisis and bring a message of hope and inspiration and ideas. I've created a webinar for you, and I want to say thank you so much to the team at J. Turner Research for rescuing me and allowing us to record on their Zoom platform today. Yesterday was also amazing. We had over 700 people attend the live event and 1,200 registered, and I'm so excited about sharing this message with you and making it available to the entire industry, because now is a time for us to be building trust and confidence in our teams and in our residents. It's time for us to make a positive difference. Now, I know that management is important. We call ourselves property management, but today we need property leadership, because we know the difference between leadership and management. Leadership has vision. Management has goals and objectives, and they're doing things, but leaders have great vision, and leaders have a focused vision. And today, with all of the information that's coming at people so quickly, I want to make sure and help you to have a focused vision with 10 initiatives for property management teams in the field. Now, there are 3 principles to focus. I believe that it starts with vision. To get teams to accomplish great goals, it begins with vision. After people know exactly where they're going, it's easy to make a commitment. Listen, if you're going somewhere and you don't exactly know where you are, you will put the brakes on. It causes us to have doubt and lose confidence. But when we know where we go, you look at that GPS overview and you're like, this is exactly where I'm going, we can make a commitment, which is the second principle to focus. And the third one is momentum. To be able to, once you've made that commitment, to get your teams moving forward and then to help maintain that momentum. When we lose momentum, we lose focus, we get distracted. So during this crisis, as a leader, I want to encourage you to practice the 3 principles of focus. Now, I have created these 10 initiatives, and this is the infographic that we've made available to you. The first initiative is Trustworthy Information. The second is social protocol, new social protocol. The third is new food sharing policies, very important. The fourth is consistency in our communication. Wow. The fifth is a commitment to clean, which is what everyone is looking at, making a huge commitment to their clean today. 6 is remote communication tools with teams and residents. Number 7 specifically focuses on remote resident resources, since our amenities are closed and many offices are closed. Number 8 is communication policies and changes. Number 9 is digital social plan. And number 10 is solutions for restless residents, because remember that our teams, our management teams, are in the front line of dealing with this issue and this crisis in our country, because they've sent everybody home, including their children, and home is what we manage. And so today we need to make sure. Now, our first initiative is to make sure we have trustworthy information. The CDC, and I'm sure many of you have spent a great deal of time, as I have, looking at the resources for business and employers. They give us the interim guidelines for business and also the cleaning and disinfectant guidelines. It's exactly where you can find great resources. It shows you how to plan for taking time off work and school if you actually wind up with the virus. It gives cleaning household plans of action that allow our teams to share with our residents. It offers additional measures for responding, and including conducting a risk assessment. There are so many tools that are available for us at the CDC. It is absolutely a great resource. It's being updated constantly. So that, my friends, is an absolutely trustworthy resource. However, I was sent a video that said a hairdryer up your nose could kill the coronavirus. And I guess if it walks like a duck and it looks like a duck, it probably is a duck. But how do you know? Snoops.com is an amazing resource for your teams to clear any advice or information that is given to them. Make sure today that we offer trustworthy information to our teams. One of the resources that I've been following for about 6 years is the Edelman Trust Barometer. In 2019, the Edelman Trust Barometer told us that people are looking for leadership from the CEOs. People are not looking for the government to do the right thing and force us to do it. They want us to do the right thing. And people are looking at us, and we need to have that leadership and have those plans and build confidence in our teams as well. Remember, before this virus, there was so much talk about the talent pool. Employee retention is as much a goal that we need to look at as our resident retention during this crisis. And here's some data that talks at how trustworthy we are looking for our executives in our corporate offices to provide us with trustworthy information. In 2020, the Edelman Trust Barometer came out with an amazing piece of data, and I wanted to share it with you today. And I want you to understand that this piece of data actually came from before the coronavirus. And they said that fear has eclipsed hope. And what do you think is going on in the minds of our residents and the minds of our team members right now? If 83% of people felt that way before, I believe having vision, having commitment to that vision, and having momentum is going to help everyone to feel a sense of confidence and find hope in what we're doing. Another great piece of data talks about the fact that society just really doesn't trust the leadership. And we want to be leadership that they do trust. If you have a goal today, it must be to be trustworthy and to work on that and make sure we integrate that into all of our plans. Right now, all of you who are watching this recording have chosen to rise to the challenge of this crisis. I believe that we are so capable of making a positive difference in the life of our people and in the lives of our residents. I am so proud and honored. And I'm so glad that of all the companies in the industry that I chose the good folks at J. Turner Research to partner with. One of the reasons I did that, because in front of my plans, they had already put out a research project and a survey on insights in facing the COVID-19. That survey is available, and I am so thrilled to welcome to this meeting Mindy Price, who I'm proud to say is my friend, but I'm honored to tell you she's an NAAEI faculty. She's a seasoned professional. She's invited to many of the top conferences from NAA to her and I share the stage at TAA. She records a radio show called the Real Estate Roundtables in Houston. She's recognized as one of the inaugural 40 under 40 group in Elites, and she is the founder of the Bruce May Memorial Tournament, showing her heart to help others and serve her community. So I would like to welcome Mindy Price.
Hi, you guys. I am honored to be here. I wish it were not under these circumstances, but nonetheless, I'm here and I'm going to share information with you. Now, what I do want to say is this information is not going to be all of it, right? Because we want to hear what Toni has to say. There's so many ideas and there's inspiration that she's going to share with you to get through this. So as Toni said, you can go to our website and you can download this research. Go to jturnerresearch.com. If the pop-up doesn't show up, you can go to the resource tab. And what's great about the resource tab is you can see everything else that we've put out there. J. Turner Research has been a resource for you and for the multifamily industry for so many years, and that is going to continue. When you need help, we are there. If you want information, come to us. Let us know what your idea is. And by the way, if you want us to survey your residents, even if you're not a client, we have a survey for this very thing that's going on right now, free of charge. So let's talk a little bit about this study. We saw this need. We knew that you guys needed information. And so we came up with this exclusive research study to ask you all. We asked leaders in the industry, how are you handling the impact of COVID-19? And over 1,400 people from across the country, they took the survey. 42% of those were in a senior leadership position at the corporate level. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights of the survey. As you can see here, the first question that we asked was, what measures have you mandated for the short term? Work from home, you can see corporate staff, 45% of them are doing that. Some of those that are saying no, they're not, or they're considering that at 32%. But I've had multiple meetings this week where the corporate office is still there. I wonder how much that's going to change. And then imposing travel restrictions, you can see here at 66%. That's happening. And then even more so on canceling travel. So leadership conferences, attending company conferences, industry events, those are being canceled. 77% are saying, yes, we're removing those. And we even heard from other industry folks that they're canceling altogether for the end of the year. Next thing that we asked, have you made any special provisions for the on-site staff? And you can see here at the time, it was 59%. Now, what does that 59% represent? Well, think about those that of you may be working shifts right now. You may be alternating who's going into the office. So limiting the number of staff. Also, we're seeing that service requests, you guys, right now, they are being very limited to emergency service requests only. And again, you can go to the study and you can see the other areas with those provisions. The third question that we asked, are you providing any special communications to the residents during this period? 81% said yes, and we know that number is just going to continue to go up, but the majority of folks are doing that. And what do we mean by special communications? Letting them know about new policies, not coming into the office, virtual tours, limiting the number of guests. Question number 3. Number 4, rate the impact of the following. So we said, hey, how are staycations? With more people staying home, how is that going to impact the resources at the site level? And you can see here that 41% said, yeah, it's going to impact it. And then over a quarter of those, 26% said there's going to be a significant impact. And Toni's got some great ideas, you guys, later on to continue to inspire you, to help you think outside the box and scribble outside those lines, because these are new times. None of us have ever dealt with this before. The next thing we said is, how much of an impact do you think leasing is going to have over the short term? And you can see 78%, it was 39%, and 39% significant impact and impact. 78% said it's going to have an impact. Toni's got some data later on that she'll share with you on how long those in our industry think this impact will last. And so 5, we asked them about what is the nature of your communication? And clearly they're doing this by email, by social, by posting signs, letting them know about new office hours. What is the protocol during this difficult time? Giving them updates on hygiene, sharing information like Toni has already on the CDC, how to handle those work orders, and understand that temporarily, those are only going to be done on an emergency basis. And as I said before, there's so much information in this study. I'm just sharing the highlights. And the last thing that I want to share with you today was question number 6. We said, what steps are you taking in the short term to, stop the spread of this at your property? And it was all about cleanliness, right? It was all about, you guys do a great job cleaning your properties. Now it's more about the deep cleans. It's also about protecting the staff, and for the maintenance staff, making sure that they have the proper equipment. We saw that some properties are giving out booties and masks and gloves. And so go to the study, download it at jturnerresearch.com. If it doesn't pop up, go to the resource center. You can see all of the other studies that we've put out there. And if you've got some ideas or some questions you want answered, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm Mindy. I'm happy to help you guys. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Toni. Thanks so much for having me here. And you guys, we're going to get through this.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. Thank you, Mindy. And by the way, I've got the power. So I had the remote. I kind of forwarded her slides a little too quick, but I was happy to go back for her. So here are the 10 initiatives. We've already done the first one, which was a trustworthy resource. And now we're going to talk about new social protocol. This is the new normal. And what I want to point out, and you probably have thought of this, but we need to make a commitment and then be consistent. I think consistency, no, I don't think, I know, and you know, that it is a great leadership trait. So when you have made a decision, let's go with it and let's stay with it. And let's make sure we're formal in any announcements so we don't have gray area. We're black and white. We keep our communications clear. Now, this is about a huge change of habit for the world, especially happening in America right now. One of the greatest books that I have ever read on the change of habit is written by Charles Duhigg. It's called The Power of Habit. And if you have not read it, and you probably have time right now, it's a fantastic read. Now, a shortcut is that he invented the habit loop, and there is tons of blogs and really great summaries of what the habit loop is. The book covers all of the resources and research on the mind on how we actually form habits. The science that he put together is fascinating and amazing, and I loved it, but it does boil down to 3 simple steps he calls the habit loop. So you might want to put on your things to Google the habit loop and go look at that and make sure you're clear on that. Make sure you're helping your teams and your residents to have a cue, establish that new routine, and then make sure you have some rewards. All right, third initiative is our food sharing policies. Now, if we go straight to the CDC, which is what I am recommending, and I'm sure your executives are recommending as well, you'll see that the very first thing is that limit food sharing. So we've got to kind of look at and have a conversation with our teams as to how we're going to handle a couple of things. Are we still providing coffee and those great machines? We've already shut down the residents' amenities, and now we're going to close the Starbucks machine. However, it is absolutely being recommended by the CDC, and so I've had some teams ask me, are our residents going to want money back because they are not getting amenities? They need to understand that we are following federal guidelines put out by the CDC, and these decisions are really being made initially by the federal government. So the coffee area, making sure coffee in our office, are we doing that? Now, if your office is closed and it's only for your teams, even then is a question mark. Are you serving any food or refreshments to residents or staff? Have you covered your common area of drinking fountains? Another place that may be an opportunity for the virus to spread. And have you removed your well fridge? Oh, silent moment of sadness for the well fridge, but it'll be back when everything comes back to normal. So our fourth initiative is consistent communication. So very, very important. As many was saying, and you need to go download that survey so you can see what other teams are doing, but we have multiple ways that we can email, we have telephone, conference lines. Just a little note, I know of one executive team that they are on a huddle with the executive team and every property in their portfolio every morning right now, giving their teams inspiration, keeping that momentum go, clarifying their vision. So use your conference line. Texting, video is going to be really important. Okay, so coronavirus is not going to change the fact that people won't read an email. I mean, it just won't. And today, if you look at, people don't want to read a recipe. They want to go look on YouTube. If you're interested in data and trustworthy data, there is a resource called wearesocial.com. They were purchased by HubSpot and Hootsuite. Oh, I knew I could think of it. And they're an amazing resource. And every year they release in January the data on global usage of data, internet, social, and they will show and tell you that the top 3 websites looked at globally, one of them is YouTube. And so today I am going to be talking to you about how to use your YouTube and how to use video. Audio podcasting. Now, take a minute right now and get your phone out and look at it. Somewhere on your phone, you might not be using it that well, is a voice memo. Okay, voice memo. In that voice memo, all I do when I record is I say, welcome to my podcast. So it'll be a company podcast. Executives, if you're not doing the conference calls, it takes you only a minute to record a message and then email that message out to your team so they can hear your voice, hear your confidence, rather than just words on a screen. The voice memo turned into audio podcast and shared is a fabulous way for us to use a tool that's available to us right now. I really believe in the printed posters. It becomes a visual cue to the residents rather than sending them an email. It's digital, it's out of sight, out of mind. I do think we're going to need to have some posters. And then obviously social media is going to be a great meeting place, a great share space that we're going to be using. So we're going to talk about how we can use those things. I found for you a fabulous resource from Museum Hack on 6 creative virtual team building activities for remote teams. listen, it's not the days of covered wagons. I mean, we literally are stuck, but there's so much digital sharing. We were saying how much people just like sit with their face in their screen, and now we can show up in that screen. And so this is virtual remote team building. I went ahead and added to our slides one of them, which is a quiz breaker. This just looks like so much fun that you can bring your teams together remotely. In my new Toni Tell All Share Space on Facebook, I've already posted a link to this blog and the information that's available. And these, the video will be available, the recording of the session will be available, and the slides will be available to you. So create a commitment, be consistent, but I also think today you need to consider having a flow chart for information sharing that is serious. I mean, you need to put it together. When I tell you, you tell them, they tell who. I mean, it's who are you going to tell, when are you going to tell them, what are you going to tell, and what communication device or tool you're going to use. Really create a content plan for your sharing and make sure information is put together in a very clear plan so that they have a great vision for it. Now, I've created a couple of team meetings for you, ideas that you can review with your teams. And here is one of them, a conversation about rent. It's a little ironic that the first month's rent that's due is on April Fool's. Man, you know, it is a tough, difficult time, but I want to share with you the conversations I've had with some of the teams in the field and companies and what they're doing. Many companies are absolutely waiving the late fee. No public promotion of this, it's case by case, but when people call, they know that there is no late fee. We have federal restrictions right now on evictions, so that is not even on the table. There's talk of government incentives that will give people some financial help, but for many of us with our high elevated rents, $1,250 is not even going to pay 1 month. And so we do want to consider grace periods. Some of the grace period plans that I'm discussing with my clients involve actually giving them 1 month free and then taking a second month, prorating it out over 13-month lease at their existing rental rate. So we lose a month and they take a month and prorate it, but it does give them 60 days in which their rent is not due. But they've signed a new 13-month extension on their lease with the higher rate beginning in 60 days. Just do your homework, make sure that you know about the assistance programs that are available for your residents. And, you know, if anything, let's be kind through this whole circumstance. It costs us about $5,000 to lose a resident. And so during this time, we want to retain our residents and our teams. Okay, number 5 is a commitment to clean. So I've created a couple of fun posters that you can post that have the CDC guidelines in them. They're at the Toni Tell All Facebook group already posted, but I do want you to think about creating a plan that is very visual, that's very face forward when it comes to your residents. You might post things that you've said or send them an email, but I want them to visually see your team's cleaning. And so go take pictures of your team's cleaning and put it in social. Do little videos of your team's cleaning. Be very, very face forward when it comes to your cleaning plan. I also think that you should create an entire list of everything that you're cleaning, from the list where you say doorknobs, you say windows, you list everything out. They're never going to read the entire list, but seeing the length of it, I believe, is going to give them faith. So think about that. Also think about assigning different cleaning to staff teams that are nearby. Set alarms, because this is not a habit that we have, to clean multiple times during the day, and post those schedules where residents can see it has been done with signatures of your teams visually and physically in that space. So if they come by, they can see it. This is a time to really be visual when it comes to our cleaning plans. Again, the CDC has all the details on how you should be responding and how we should be cleaning. I have a conversation for clean as a team meeting that talks about all of the ideas that I just shared with you. Are you sharing your cleaning schedules? Are you providing sanitation supplies for the residents to use in the common areas? Do you share when and what you're doing with and have signatures. There's a full list here for you to sit down with your team and have a team meeting and a conversation about clean. All right, sixth initiative is remote communication tools. So we have our resident portal, the residents know about that, but let's make sure we're really putting that face forward in social and emails and telephone, text, and social media. Make sure you're creating new habits with your teams, and your content share plan is written down with great vision so they can make a commitment to it and you can keep your momentum going. Not everybody has pulled the trigger on having an online e-signature lease opportunity with our residents. There are some other tools that are out there. If you've not made that decision yet, now might be a great time to pull the trigger and do that. Also, if you have not made a decision on package sharing, if it's possible to implement that during this time. I found a program called DocuSign. Then I went looking for the DocuSign reviews. When I did, some of the other products showed up. But I wanted to make a screenshot of looking at the reviews to make sure that you always, before you purchase a product, spend time investigating that product and their reviews and seeing how our customers are going to work with that, because we want to make things as easy as possible in this difficult time. Okay, number 7, remote resident resources. Today, people know maybe about Uber Eats and Grubhub, but did you know about DoorDash? There is an easy way to search online and find out what delivery services are being made available. And then I think you should contact them locally, find out what they're doing. I got a notification on my Uber app that said that I got free delivery right now to go ahead and do that. Also, Instacart is amazing. Instacart delivers from Ralph's and Costco and Sam's Club. They deliver from liquor stores and they deliver from the pharmacies. So just go to Instacart, put your zip code in, and take a look at what is being delivered locally, and make sure you're putting that in social and sharing that with your teams. There's assistance for pets. If somebody needs pet sitting, obviously today we're all home with our pets, but I wanted to share this as well, and that is rover.com. All right, number 8. Communicate policy changes, obviously very, very important. So what I did here is I just created another conversation meeting slide for you. So we want to create a new resident orientation for the new normal right now, but I believe it should be video recorded. I think they need to see your team's faces, telling them exactly. Create a new orientation for this new normal, post it on your YouTube channel, and then share it in social. I also think that you should create a new resident orientation in a podcast, and then do an email in which you share the podcast. That can actually be embedded in the email. It's a very small file, and then send them to the YouTube link. I think that we should make a list of educational lessons right now that we could create videos for, and then audios for, maybe about our service team, have our service manager talk about what is an emergency call and what the plans are right now. I think people would really love to see that and listen to their voice. I think it would build confidence. You also might want to think about, with move-ins, creating a new move-in day orientation video that walks them through all the procedures and signing, where to get their keys. Many teams are using lock boxes right now, how they can pay their rent, and if they have any service at this time, what would be the things that we would be looking for. This is a new normal. Let's not have our residents be guessing. And I really want to encourage you to use video and podcasting, and then share that through email and social. All right, number 9, can you believe we're on number 9, just 2 left. And this is our daily digital social plan. If we ever had a time that we needed to research ways to pay less and experience more, it is right now. So this is something that I've always recommended to my clients to have, is ways to save money. And if you've been in my sessions, you know I always say, I want to help you save money, just not on your rent. I make everybody turn to each other and go, not on your rent, not on your rent, not on your life, not on your rent. So there's a lot of things we can do. We've taken amenities away. Let's be sharing ideas. Gas Buddy is very cool. They're still driving to a few places. And if they get out and need gas, they can save money by looking on that app and finding out where the best price for gas is. If they're shopping online, retailmenot.com is amazing. Have you ever been buying online and seeing that place where they wanted a promo code and you're like, like, where's the code? The code is at retailmenot.com. 65,000 codes available right there. Restaurant.com allows you to buy a $25 gift card for $10. And restaurants use it to promote what they're doing right now. And many restaurants are creatively creating takeaway menus where you can pick up and drive away. And so take a look at restaurant.com to see what's available. Valpak, love me some Valpak. I've used Valpak for so long. You just go on, put your zip code in, and you'll see what coupons are available locally. Groupon, known by many, TJ Maxx and Walmart are both online. Go look and see what you can save your residents and what things they're looking for. Consider your future residents when sharing coupons as well. I looked up moving coupons and promotion codes and found a lot of really great things available at retailmenot.com. Here's Valpak. Walgreens has got some 25% savings right now. So we can share all of that. And since our residents have time, I thought I would share some coupon clipping sites that they may have time to actually do. I know that a lot of the digital coupons are available, but maybe we haven't taken advantage of it. I think a really cool video would be walking somebody through the closest grocery store website for grocery delivery and showing them where the coupons are and how to actually use that and stuff. Let's be inherently and genuinely useful in this time. Let's add value to our residents' lives through showing them ways to save money and be available to them. So my last initiative is for solutions for the restless resident. I'm calling it restless resident syndrome, like restless leg syndrome, only it's restless resident. And I think the pain that we're sharing right now is only beginning, but working out is a great way for people to spin off energy. We've closed our workout facilities, but it did not take me long with a little Google search to find apartment-friendly workouts. And I found this fitnessblender.com, which was amazing. I found the 50 best free online workout resource. Yes, I did. And I put that link to that blog at my Totally Toni Tell-All share space on Facebook. So go check that out. And Doug, my husband, found this app. It's called Drybar Comedy. It is clean comedy recorded in Utah. And we sat and we laughed and we found comedians that we really, really liked. And what's kind of sweet is at the end of it, you get to tip the comedian, and we wasn't much, but it was a little bit. But after we found the comedian on Drybar, then we went to YouTube, found other free videos from that comedian and sat with one and just kind of binge watched this one comedian and just loved everything they had to share. So let's share comedy. Laughter is great medicine. And I think this is a great resource for you. When it comes to keeping your residents from having restless syndrome, contests are a great way to do it. I found this one, which is a dog in a blanket costume contest. Now, everybody doesn't have a dog, so I think you ought to do something in a blanket so that everybody can participate and have fun with it. Here is a team that did live Facebook bingo with their residents, and I put this down here because they had this was comment 52 of 221 comments. I mean, their residents jumped on, and this was their first one, and they're really having fun. They've created digital bingo cards. They can email them, and really having a good time. I just came up with a couple of stuck in my apartment quarantined ideas. And the first one is a My Property's Got talent show. Imagine your residents doing dog pet tricks, singing, playing an instrument, doing the kazoo, whatever it is. And then all of your other residents voting on the best one, and maybe an Uber Eats coupon of $100 that they can order food with. The second one I came up with a sock puppet show. I think it would be so fun to have your team create a self-portrait sock bucket I'd have to have lots of red curls and maybe a red outfit. And I think it'd be really funny. Imagine live balcony puppet shows, maybe even from one. We've seen all this stuff where people are on balconies doing things back and forth. And so it is a time for us to deal with this crisis. And I know that management is looking at all of the legal, the liability, the financial, but we cannot forget our residents. their frame of mind, their attitude, and their spirit. And so I really hope that I'm able to share ideas with your teams that will inspire them, to inspire your residents to kind of make it through this time. So I created a conversation page for your team to have with solutions for restless resident syndrome. Record upbeat videos with your staff, sharing positive messages of hope and encouragement. Maybe even launch a kindness challenge. There's one at totallytoni.com that's free with guidelines for social distancing. There's a ton of fun apps and webcasting tools that you can use to keep your people together. Maybe even adopt a senior center and think about sending fun videos to their social media feed. Go to the kindness challenge at Totally Toni. And I had one team member say they're doing hashtag I survived the corona lockdown. And they're having their residents share the books they're reading, the shows they're binging, the movies they've watched, all under hashtag I survived the corona lockdown. And I think that would be a great place for us to all join them and have that information available so it's easily searchable. Now, we did a poll during the webinar yesterday, and we asked some really great questions. Survey says, well, we had 1,204 people register, and we had over 700 people attend. At the very end, I think Mindy said to me that she saw there was still 611 people online. We had a little trouble with our technology. Some people came on and got booted off, and I apologize for that. We've recorded today so that everyone will have access to this information. But yesterday we did ask some good questions. So first, it shows you who was on the call. We had 4.5% leasing. We had 11% assistant managers, not very many maintenance. We had a good percentage of regionals on the call, and the biggest percentage was managers and C-level executives. We asked them, where are you watching from? And you can see that 63% of them were in their office. Because many of the managers, they're still in their offices. 35 were from at home and 1.6 were from a remote location. We asked them, if someone is tested positive at your community, is your plan to notify the residents? And 63.76% were not sure. So this shows us an area where we need to have vision for our team members. And then we asked them, if residents have traveled and come back to the property, are you going to let the residents know? And 42% said no. We also asked them how often you're huddling with your team. And daily or frequently was 27.46%, and then 17% on our regionals huddle when needed, and then huddle with their teams. And we huddle with our teams in the field at the corporate only 2, and then a combination was a half of the people. And then we asked them how long they expected this to go on, and the majority said 30 to 45 days. And so there is a lot of hope out there. 17.26 said 90 days or more. I've opened a brand new group called Totally Toni Tell All, which is a place to share and care. Yesterday I opened it and got 238 members, because I'm sure there's people waiting right now that I'll let in as soon as I get off this. In there you'll find a link to Dropbox with all of the slides that you've just seen. You'll see a link to the blogs that I've discussed, recommended resources. The poll results are coming. We're working on all of those poll results. Social media content plans and resources. Announcements for my next webinar, which is going to be remote leasing, the new normal. That's going to be on the 7th of April. And then lots of opportunities to share and show that you care and stay together. I want again to thank so much the team at J. Turner, who were not just my sponsor with Trustworthy Information, but they let us jump on this Zoom conferencing platform today and record this. I just appreciate so much of your commitment, Mindy and the team there, and Joseph, to our industry. And you have shown that repeatedly. And I want to remind everybody that their survey is available and all their resources are available at jturnerresearch.com. A few closing comments. I can't hear you, Mindy.
Sorry about that. So Toni, I just wanted to say that thank you for doing this. I want to say to the industry, thank you for doing what you do, because this is personal, right? It's where people live, and there's nothing more personal than that. And we've never experienced anything like this before, but we can get through this, and each and every one of you can make a difference. You can do these things that that Toni talked about, whether it's remotely or if you're there. You got this, right? You're in an industry where it takes a lot to make it, and you guys, you've got this. I'm here for you. Toni's here for you. Look to J. Turner Research as a resource. And I'm sorry we're going through this. I'm sorry I have to be on this type of webinar, but what a blessing that I can share this message with you guys. And Toni, thanks for inviting us.
You bet, absolutely. And I'll just close by saying, God bless America, and God bless every one of you. Choke me up. Thank you for watching.